Yeah, go ahead and go live. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin. We're live in Philadelphia, and we're looking out the window. I'm not sure where we are, but that's downtown Philly. A beautiful Saturday afternoon. Who's ready for some track?
I'm ready.
Absolutely. And we're joined by the legend Aaron Potts of many a podcast fame. Aaron, give me your 2 cents. What are you feeling? You excited about this? What are some of the people you're interested in watching today?
Man, I'm super excited. Man, I appreciate you having me on here today to just watch and talk track and field. I mean, Grand Slam track at number 3. I think what I'm excited about really is just the timing of this one. The first two we were just talking about a little bit offline. That's really, really early in the season. I mean, at this point, we're inching up. June is right around the corner. People want to come out a little bit. They want to test what they've been doing, how they're feeling. So, I mean, being a 15-8 guy myself, I know I'm most excited about the men's 800 today. I gotta say, with Marco Arop, just being as great as he is and everything he's done from the past season and up to now. And now we get to see him up against Josh Hoey. Josh Hoey coming in off of that indoor world title where he kind of shocked the world. And then you got Hobbs Kessler going up against him as well. We know everything he's done with his doubles in the 15 and the 8. So I'm thinking we're gonna see something quick in the 8 today. I think Marco Arop's gonna be pushed finally because he's kind of been dominating these 1500 guys.
And the 800 he has, still figuring out that 1500. But
Yeah.
let's take a step back and really appreciate what we got here. Everyone in the chat, spam your country flag. I see South Africa. They're currently winning. Shout out to Ferdinand van Ziel. Appreciate y'all being here. This is a cool opportunity. And we'll be here until 7 p.m., a little bit before. First race is scheduled for 4:39. So we're currently getting the cameras ready. We are going to stream the entire thing. And if you want to look up the races to come today, feel free to head over to Grand Slam Track/events/Philadelphia. But for our full lineup today, let's just take a second and look at some of these great athletes and these great events that we're going to be watching. Starting off with some 400 hurdles action, men's and women's sides. Going to go jump over to the 800. Then there's the 200 featuring Kenny Bednarek, Zarnell Hughes. Moving over to the women's two, Gabby Thomas is here. Then we got the 3,000. So it was the 3K, 5K double. It's just going to be an exclusive 3,000 race. So instead of the $100,000 purse, it's to 50K. That's going to be super exciting. And then there's the 400 men's and women's 15, men's 110 hurdles, and we're going to end the day on the women's 100 hurdles. I I love the fact that we're going to condense this to 2 days. It was a 3-day event. Now it's two. So Saturday and Sunday more focused, a little bit more I think viewer friendly. We're gonna have a little bit less time between each event. Uh, oh yeah, look at all of these. Jamaica crushing it. We got Trinidad and Tobago. We got some Switzerland, Norway. I mean, look at this. Italy. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, the clouds. So yeah, there is a small chance of rain. It says right now we're looking at 30% chance depending upon time, but it is going to go away by about 7. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it'll give us some strong tailwinds. But yeah, we're closing in. We're about 10 minutes away from the track feed. But just appreciate Philadelphia for now. But oh, there's Brazil. Welcome back. And India, awesome. What you know about your flags, Aaron?
I mean, I'm a stereotypical American man. I haven't been over to France, one time, but other than that, I need to get out. I need to get out. I definitely want to just visit the continent, Africa. Shout out. I want to try some of that jollof in Ghana, that
Mm,
Ghanaian jollof, or I don't know. I want to see. There's a lot of hype about the fight on who makes the best jollof out over there on that side. But definitely want to get down to Jamaica or something too, to the islands. Brazil would be dope. South Africa, like all the people in the chat, I would love to visit just about every flag that's on here.
Yeah, we got some great international representation. And that's what's beautiful about this sport. You know, you've got such an international contingent, and we're gonna kick off right away in the very first race. We have one, two, three, four countries in the women's 400 hurdles. You know, let's take a second and talk about what we're excited to see. Well, what I am personally very interested in looking at what happens in the men's 200 meters today. So we're gonna get the men's short sprints. We're gonna get half of the full experience tomorrow. We'll get the men's 100. But we got some cool storylines unfolding, some rapid times going. We're going to get to see Kenny Benark, two-time Olympic silver medalist, clash against Andre DeGrasse. Of course, was the 2021 Olympic gold. And then there's Zarnell Hughes, a mysterious athlete right now in the two because he ran a 19.5 on that 200 straight. And you mentioned this before we went live, but I think he could be the one to keep our eyes on because if he puts together a season like he did in 2023, where he broke Linford Christie's 200 and 100 national records, man, he could be dangerous.
Yeah, when he did that, I remember I was at the New York Prix meet that year where he ran the 100 and he set the world lead, and people were really looking at him as the favorite, and they were like, man, like, is this like the guy, and like last year didn't really work out for him the best, but he looks like he's in strong form coming into this, and we know he has a talent. I think he's a pretty young guy too.
That's the question. What is Zarnell Hughes' age right now?
Let's check it out.
Oh yeah, looks like we're getting some background noises. That's Steve Cram.
And the Eagles, of course, who won the Super Bowl, but not to mention perhaps the world's most famous steps up to the Philadelphia Museum of Art, where Rocky famously ran, and his statue stands proud and is perhaps one of the most visited sites in this city. Today, though, it welcomes the world's athletes.
So we've got the audio.
We are really looking
We're
forward
still waiting
to
on that
what our
feed. Wait a
third
few more
installment
minutes.
of
We're
Grand
almost
Slam
there,
Track
ladies
has
and
in store.
gentlemen.
I'm Steve Cram, and I've got with me Carrie Tollefson.
So in the meantime, if you do like this stream, which I hope you certainly do, this is an amazing opportunity. Some free views, free watching. Hit the link up above that I've pinned. It'll take you to a little focused research area for all you running enthusiasts out there, and it'll literally customize a search based on things you like. Click on that, and it'll hit back to the stream, the Creator Sports Network. Hit them some feedback, and it will literally grant us to do more of these live streams. So make sure to visit the website, do a little bit of your own research. It is very important because I would love for us to be able to host the Los Angeles Grand Prix. And if you visit that link pinned at the top, it's the GST Total Running. That will make it possible moving into Los Angeles. Click, click, click away. Appreciate you. Now, I believe I saw a Cote d'Ivoire flag, Ivory Coast, earlier. Yeah, I think we got some right there. That's what I'm talking about. 29, Ben Patton's. Okay, I'm assuming that's Zarnell Hughes' age. So not that young, but he turns 30 in a month.
And he like the same age. He's just a little younger than me. We gonna call him young still, just
He's
to
very
make us
young.
feel better.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, 30 is the new 20, right? I mean,
Exactly.
it kind of is. You got a lot of 30, even 40-year-olds running some crazy fast times.
Yeah, and on the opposite end of that, let's talk about Christian Miller, 19 years old,
Yep.
professional.
Fresh out of
Insane.
high school. Yeah, he's a
High
man
school
to watch
kids
out
in
for.
the U.S. have been going crazy.
What is even happening in high school with sprints? You know, you've got a 9.92 guy this year in Tate Taylor. He actually took down Christian Miller's national record of 9.93. We hear the sounds of the stadium. We'll be headed over in just a few minutes. Sit tight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. But yeah, the young versus the not even old, the experienced, I suppose, because there's a 10-year gap between Miller and Hughes. you really never know what is gonna come from Zarnell Hughes in the 1 or 2. I feel like he has such mad potential, and when he does put it together, it is beautiful. We saw that World Championship medal in 2023, running in the 100. That was a gloriously close race. Look at those results for third. Shout out to Oblique Seville, man. He was just right there. But yeah, Miller, 993 last year, and he was in the Olympic trials final against the big names, Benarek, Lyles, Curley, and he almost made the team in one of the most competitive years in US 100 history. So I'm excited to see what he does this year. I think he's, hopefully he's able to time his season well. We got some Ethiopian flags. That's what I like to see. Sarnell coming from strong 19. Yeah, the 1955 in Atlanta. That was crazy. Second fastest all-time, all conditions, 200 straight, only behind Tyson Gay's legendary 1941. That was some that was
Yeah,
amazing to watch.
that 1941, that YouTube video, go watch that. The focus that Tyson Gay has that entire time is legendary.
And if you know, you know. We were talking about this also before the stream. I want to get the chat's involvement. So the 200 is the big sprint match on the men's side today on the short sprints. We had Zarnell, 1955. We got Kenny, super quick this year. Are we going to go over or under 19.80?
What do y'all think?
Yeah, leave your thoughts.
Got a couple of unders coming in. I agree. I think we're going under. I think we're going under for sure.
$19.82 is a good guess. Shout out Ben Pattinson. Knows his stuff. I mean, the weather looks not ideal, but you got to think there could be a good tailwind. Hopefully it's under 2.0. Shout out to Jordan Anthony. 2.1 for his 975 100, the West Regionals. But do not forget that you can run very fast if there's a little rain on the track. Now, if there's rain blowing in your face, that's a different story. But Usain Bolt, 2008, broke the world record before the Olympics, and it was wet on the track in New York. So wet track doesn't mean there's going to be issues. It just means you're going to have to run through it, I suppose. But the temp is around 70 degrees. I believe that's expected for the rest of the evening. 70 degrees, 69 right now, or 21 Fahrenheit or 21 Celsius for your international viewers. Yeah, we're gonna get a feed from the track in just a few minutes. Like, we're literally about to go there. Just hang on. We are on our way. The first race is at 4:39. Yeah, the 66, 70-ish. We want it to be a little bit warmer to get those real fast times in sprints, but you never know. Some people are primed and ready. So yeah, the first race is the women's 400 hurdles, and it's a little statistic. In this race, we have 4. Here we go. We're on the track, ladies and gentlemen. All of your prayers have been answered. We have arrived. We're just getting to get some side shots here of the people in the stadium, but let's just open up that sound from the announcers in the stadium and listen in for a few minutes. Never mind. I thought they were going to take it for a second. We'll go back and forth, but
He is one of the best in the world.
He wasn't just a boxer, he was a symbol of grit, of heart.
Is the Frenchman going to get it? He absolutely does.
Of rising up to the challenge.
Can't take
world knocks you down. That spirit,
Yeah, we're a few minutes out from the full live stream switching over there. But yeah, women's 400 hurdles is going to be fire.
because this isn't
Yeah,
just sport.
like
It's chasing
it's always an honor. I'm a big Delilah Muhammad fan. So to see her on her retirement tour and still running great. Still running great. It's been and dope to see. And she does have a chance to make it's not like she's like washed or anything. Like she has a chance to still make the team this year, which is crazy.
So we're in Philadelphia for the third edition of Grand Slam Track Moves, a little further north, and the weather is welcoming us in a way which it only can in Philadelphia, one of America's most historical cities, and indeed one of its most sporting cities. It's the home of the Phillies and of the Eagles, the Super Bowl champions. And these steps, perhaps the most famous steps in the world, where Rocky famously ran up on his morning runs and stands there aloft. Athletes coming from all over the world again for Grand Slam Track. I'm Steve Cram, and with me, Carrie Tollefson and Anson Henry again. Evening, guys. Looking forward to it.
Very happy to be here, Stephen.
I get Stephen. I get the posh name, as we would say in the UK.
Yeah. do it, man.
Maybe Crammy is better. But listen, I want to just say that this is such a fun atmosphere already. The crowds are coming in. People are excited. Even the little bit of rain didn't damper anything.
It's already a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've dodged the showers, had some heavy rain overnight, but the sun is just starting to peek through. A little breezy, but we're hoping for pretty good conditions. For day one, don't forget 2 days, 11 races now, just 2 days of Grand Slam track. Now, it'll be coming at you thick and fast. This is what it looks like, the timetable for today. We're going to begin with the two long hurdles
Okay,
races.
sun's
men
coming out a
and
little
women.
bit.
400-meter hurdles first. And we'll be seeing Dos Santos. Then after that, not long after that, after a cracking 800-meter in the short distance, we'll see Kenny Bednarek and others in the short sprints. That's at 7 minutes after 5. Women's short sprints will follow as well. Women's long distance, only the one race in the long distance now over 3,000 meters. We'll see Paulino versus El Nasser again in the long sprints for the women. So much to look forward to, including a cracking 1,500 meters in the women's short distance. And at the end, the two short hurdles races, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone will finish things off for us in the 100-meter hurdles, dropping down to the short hurdles from the longer event that we've seen in the first two slams. Well, Sydney had a perfect record, and that means she was sitting in a great position for Racer of the Year. So this is how they're sitting, men and women. Who's got the most points so far in the slam? Joya's not here this time, so he's going to lose ground. He had 34 points. Gabby Thomas going well with 37. Paulino, 38. But if you want to have a crack at it, you've got to really be right up there with almost a perfect record for Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And Dos Santos does, and Kenny Bednarek does, 48 points. As indeed does Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. That may well change for her, but for Kenny and Dos Santos, they'll be looking to continue their perfect record so far.
See what excites me a lot about this one is the fact we already got two that happened. So now we really got some storylines starting to develop. The first one, you're like, what's going on? What's going on with Grand Slam? You kind of don't get it. You see the stadium, but now we got two rolling. You got some rivalries kind of developing. You know, you're starting to get it. That's why I really feel like this one and LA are gonna be the best two, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're gonna work out the kinks. I feel like, and I mean, a lot of the viewers at home right now, you know, we went through some growing pains for the opening competition in Kingston, and I mean I assured everyone we're putting together the product, we're figuring out the camera angles, because this is a different feed. This is the creator feed. You know, the live main feed is on Peacock, but we will still be on the track with the full event. So now that they figured it out, there we go. There's Delilah Muhammad, legend. We're here, and I think that there's going to be some serious quality that comes over these next few hours.
the greatest show in racing, Grand Slam Track. 96 of the fastest humans on the planet are coming together to fight for glory. They're competing for a prize fund of over $12 million.
Over 4 slams, we are changing the sport with 6 new racing groups.
Short sprints,
Long sprints,
short hurdles,
long hurdles,
short distance,
long distance. Most athletes will compete twice in their group.
If you're in short sprints, it's the 100 and 200 meter.
And our long distance runners will compete over an epic 3,000 meters.
There's points on the line at every event.
12 for first, 8 for second, 6 for third. You get the vibe.
Add the points together and you have a leaderboard. And every place matters, because where you finish changes how much you win.
If there's a tie on points, times from both races are added together, with the quickest taking the win and the money.
And it doesn't end there. Over 4 slams, our overall points winners will be crowned Racers of the Year.
Grand Slam is rewriting the rules of track.
Previously on Grand Slam track, women's long hurdles.
Now the gap starts to widen, the class starts to tell. Clear win once again for McLaughlin Levrone. And away she goes now, gliding down the home straight. It's going to be Sydney to take it. There's our slam champion. Of course it is. She is still so much better than everybody else. So no, Sydney.
All right, yes, sir.
Seeing her, as I mentioned, in the short.
So the women's 400 hurdles is the first event. We're gonna take down to the track and we're gonna listen to the audio from Steve Cram. Take it away, Steve.
First time we're going to see her. First time at 400 hurdles this year. She has run a 300-meter hurdles race, which was pretty swift. Rochelle Clayton, good to see the Jamaican back after pulling up in the early slam in Kingston in front of her home crowd. Presume that she's all okay now, fitness-wise. Shamir Little, talking about fitness, said, I'm kind of warming my way into the season. And former world medalist certainly looked as though she needed another couple of races in Miami. Now, what about Jasmine Jones? She coming to the slam for the very first time. What a 2024 she had to improve 4 seconds in this event. She goes in 5. Adrianette Knight, another very, very good Jamaican. Second to Femke Bol in Rabat just a week ago. And Bol, second best in the world. Well, I guess you can throw in Cockrell there as well with McLaughlin Levrone. So that's a good marker for Adrianette Knight. Dalila Mohamed's going to be in 3. And then the Italian follow Runzo.
So, yeah.
Ran a new 400-meter flat personal best just recently.
In the 400 hurdles. She's moving down to the 100 hurdles and the 100. So this race is a lot more open from where it typically is, where McLaughlin just dominates. So I'm very excited to see who takes the victory. Again, 4 of the top 10 all-time are in this race.
Quicker than her sister. And they are big rivals. We'll hear more about those two later. Now, just to mention at Franklin Field here, in lanes 1, 2, and 3, you may have noticed they're starting before the finish line, because lane 4 is the actual 400-meter total 1 lap, and the inside lanes, they have to run more than a lap to complete the distance. Got that? We'll try and keep you right as we go. So Nielsen, Folorunsho, and Mohamed. That is Mohamed in your picture. These 3 will actually cross the finish line twice. For everybody else, a lap as normal. 400-meter hurdles, first event of Philadelphia Grand Slam.
Set.
Get away cleanly. Actually, Anna Cockrell got a pretty good start. Shamir Little got left a little bit again as they go over the first flight around these long sweeping bends here at Franklin Field. Rochelle Clayton started very quickly, and Cockrell down the back straight has only a meter or 2. It's Clayton who's just rising first, also going well in lane 4 is Adrianette Knight. So it's the 2 Jamaicans setting the pace at the moment. Oh, and then that Folorunsho clipped that one, and she's out of the race at the moment. So that means Nielsen's got a big gap between her and the rest, and Shamir Little has just pulled up. So Rochelle Clayton starting to tie up a little bit. Dalila Mohamed is coming back into this. It's Mohamed and Cockrell. Clayton still in the mix, and Adrianette Knight trying to get there, but it's now Cockrell pulling away. One more barrier to get over safely. She's over it. A scrap there for the lesser places, but it's going to be Anna Cockrell who takes the win. 54.04. Jasmine Jones finished incredibly quickly down the home straight to take second place. Bit of an untidy race in terms of Folorunsho went down the back straight. Shamir Little went at hurdle 7, or just before hurdle 7, and Cockrell was challenged early on, but stayed strong. And in your first race of the year, a win, big win against a good field, that will set her up nicely. Jones, as I said, finished quickly for second.
It's good to cross the line first. As I said, she was a silver medalist and would be expected to come here and win. Rochelle Clayton really jumped on her early, and it kind of woke her up. You saw as she came into the backstretch, she was kind of like, okay,
Not a surprise to see Anna Cockrell take the win, honestly. She's the silver medalist from Paris, and she went sub 52. So that I feel like that was expected, and you know, it's 54. She's still figuring out her form, obviously. That's a good time. I mean, that was a solid opening race. Shout out to the camera operators. A good opener.
Yeah, I think for Anna Cockrell, has she even ran a 400 hurdle race this year? That might have been her opener, but she definitely performed like a silver medalist would and dominated.
Yeah. So that's her first. That's her second. She ran one at the LSU Invitational, but solid performance, solid time. Turning into you know, turning up as an Olympic medalist, pulling out the win, and you got to think that sets her up very well for closing in on $100,000 payday. You got to remember how much money is on the line here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see them come back and run that 400 too. See how
Oh
she
yeah.
fares against Delilah in that race and Jasmine Jones.
Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, we got Anna Cockrell in first, Jasmine Jones in second, and Andronette Knight coming in third. And you know, you hate to see Shamir Little. She pulled up. Hopefully she's okay and not injured. But you know that's gonna definitely hurt her chances with getting that 100K. But you know, health is more important than anything. So we hope she's okay, speedy recovery, and hopefully she can be competing tomorrow. But yeah, 54:04, solid opener. Next up is the men's 400 hurdles. So we're gonna get 400 hurdle action going first. I feel like that's a solid place to start. I feel like you see the 400 hurdles come out in the opening for a lot of big meets. And you know, for that race, just to go back to the women's side real quick, you've got to think right now, as it typically always is. You've got McLaughlin Levrone holding the world number 1. She's the favorite in any race that she races in the 400 hurdles. But Femke Bol also made her appearance in a Diamond League event running a 52. And now we're on the track. We're getting some Alison Dos Santos. This man is 6'7". I mean, dang. He's got to be one of the tallest, if not the tallest athletes in track right now. This is a monster and a world champion from 2022. He's the one to watch.
Yeah, also, like if you ever talk to him, just the ball of energy, a person I feel like a person you would want to be around, always joking around. You see there, is that a picture with him with Allen, with CJ
Yeah, that's
Allen?
CJ Allen, and I think it was a joke. It was like, ask me for a picture with Josh Kerr, but yeah, that was definitely CJ Allen, a fellow 400 hurdle guy. He's right there on the outside.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
good.
funny. But I think this will be a great race as well. CJ Allen is always someone in there making those teams and is always on that cusp of being someone getting the medal. You have Trevor Bassett in the race. I feel like he's such a fan favorite. And then Caleb Dean out of Texas, out of Texas Tech, always just going out hard from the gun, catch me if you can. So like a lot of heavy hitters in this race, even though we don't have, the classic Carson Warholm and Ry Benjamin up against these guys.
Yeah, I mean, the big three, to have Dos Santos, to have CJ Allen, to have Clement Ducot, to have Caleb Dean. These are some big names. And also shout out to Gerald Drummond from Costa Rica, national record holder. You do not see Costa Rica making a splash in too many track events, and yet he is here.
Yeah, and that's what's great about it too. When you're out there representing a country that's not in too many events, it's a different type of energy you bring. You have a chip on your shoulder that you may not carry if you're from the US or something like that. So this is a big deal for him to be on this stage and represent his people.
Well, the rest of the field, plenty to look out for Dos Santos, including Ducos. We'll see him competing on the his outside in lane 7. Again, we'll mention the fact the inside lanes for Assini Wilson, Chris Robinson, Gerald Drummond, just slightly different to normal. CJ Allen on the outside, the American who on his day certainly well capable of doing well in these slam events. 48.71 when we saw him in Kingston. So this is Clement Ducos. We'll be hoping that this will be a better slam for him. The American-based Frenchman was disqualified in the hurdles, didn't start in the 400 back then. Seems ages ago now, doesn't it? Early April. Now Dos Santos being introduced to the crowd. Caleb Dean inside him, and as we said, expect him to get out hard. Always seems to do that.
Let's get some polls going in the
400
chat.
Miami, new personal best.
So we got that 48-second barrier that can be often difficult to beat. So let's see. Are we going under 48 here? I feel like it's time of the year. We're getting in the middle of the outdoor season. Dos Santos probably hitting his strides. We got most saying yes. And we got, don't forget, we got competition here. Clement Ducos, Olympic finalist. We got CJ Allen, always ready to rock, under 48 PR. And I do want to highlight Chris Robinson. Man went 44-1 at this year's Tom Jones Invitational in the 400 flat. Like, embarrassing the field when he ran there. So if Chris Robinson turns on the jets and can be smooth with it over the hurdles, I mean, this man can easily be under 48, if not 47.5. Whether or not today's the day that happens remains to be seen. But yeah, we got most saying under. I like the optimism. I like it.
Wilson, young Jamaican. Jamaicans with so much strength and depth in 400-meter hurdles, men's and women's. But it will be Dos Santos, who everybody will be trying to get on terms with. The former world champion. Caleb Dean in 5, the other racer. Racers in the red, wearing red numbers. Clement Ducos, the Frenchman. Can he get in amongst it here? Weather just settled a little bit, which is good, but a bit of a breeze down the back straight in their face.
Swirling wind, something you don't want in the 4 hurdles.
Set.
Cleanly away again. Calatine, as mentioned, has gone off quickly. Dos Santos hitting the first hurdle, just got himself off balance a little bit and clipping the second one as well. CJ Adam going well on the outside. Now Dos Santos settling down, flying in the inside lane in 2 is Chris Robinson, who's going very, very quick indeed. And Robinson may even have the lead as they come into the top bend. It's Robinson in the white in lane 2. Shirley's gone hard here. Trevor Bassett coming back into it as well as Caladine just starts to fade. So Dos Santos with work to do. 3 of them abreast, penultimate hurdle. Dos Santos now takes it on. And here goes the Brazilian. Those long legs of his taking him away from everybody else. Bassett fighting to the line. But it's going to be Dos Santos again. 48-1. The lead chopped and it changed. Robinson went out.
Man, Chris Robinson went out red hot. You see how far ahead he was at 200? Man had like a step and a half.
Caleb Dean was up in it too. He's never, you gotta respect it.
You gotta love.
Scared.
You can see Allison appreciated that race. Like they went out so fast, but Allison's a master, man. He's been doing this for years. He is a world champion. He is the 3rd fastest of all time. He actually did run that very maturely. That was a mature race from the Brazilian world champion. So congrats to him. And that's a solid time, 48-1. It seems like there's some weather affecting the situation. Like you have to run in swirling winds. That's going to be a challenge. You know, like you might be running into a headwind on the back stretch and headwind on the home stretch if it's swirling like that. But I mean, either way, 48-1. I could be wrong, but I wonder what placement that is world lead right now.
Well, yeah. And you said Chris Robinson, he took 3rd, it looks like. I mean, can he beat Dos Santos tomorrow in the 400 and get a couple more points?
Suave, okay.
So he may have needed may have needed to get second, but like the fact that he got third and got a couple points, maybe he could come back and beat everybody in the 400. Maybe Trevor Bassett could beat Dos Santos. Probably not. I don't know, but it-
Possible.
he has a chance. He has a chance to get some money.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at probably over a $20,000 weekend pay, not payday, but pay weekend. So I mean, clearly, they're going to be making some bank. And Alison Dos Santos probably is going to be the favorite because he can go 44.5 on that 400 flat. But yeah, Dos Santos with the win. Trevor Bassett clutch in second. Chris Robinson. I thought he was actually going to fall apart. If we look back to like right after halfway, it almost looked like he stutter stepped when he landed. Like he went out too hard and he was already hitting some lactic, but stayed strong. That was a great race.
I think we got another. I think the 800's up next. Another close one I'm predicting too.
It was a nice
Yeah,
race.
that is going to be unbelievably fun to watch. So we're going in the middle distance here. This is the 1500, 800 guys. So we have the full medal lineup from Paris: Cole Hawker, Josh Kerr, Yard Nagoose. But we also have some 800 beasts. We've got Marco Arope. We have Hobbs Kessler. We have, let's see the full lineup that we have here. Josh Hoey, how can I forget off the top of my head? Excuse me. The world indoor champion from this year, the man that's changing a lot of expectations from the U.S. And then there's Elliot Giles. And let's give a shout out to Samuel Chapelle from the Netherlands, this year's European indoor 800 champion, 144 indoors. That's moving. This is going to be a very interesting race. And you made an interesting prediction, what Arope might be capable of today.
I'm starting to push back on myself after seeing people running a little bit slower with these wins. But I don't think Josh Hoey don't care about the weather. That man is gonna go out hard. And Marco Arop will more than likely follow. So I'm hoping that that gives us maybe a 143 low, maybe a 132. I don't know. We're gonna see something fast. We may, we may, but also, if you guys know me from the pod, Two Black Runners, I'm always the Cole Hawker fan. He hasn't won no slams yet. He hasn't won a race in GST. So I know that guy's hungry. So I want to see how he's going to position himself.
Yeah, Hawker is a very good racer. I think he's still figuring out the way to be a time trialer. Then again, if you want to look at what a time trial is by definition, that's kind of what Paris last year was for the men's 15. Jakob took it out as the pacer more or less, and Hawker kicked it in for an Olympic record at 3:27.6. Unbelievable time. Unbelievably memorable race. It's one of the few times where I remember just jumping out of my chair. Like, it was shocking to see. So yeah, this men's 8 has the potential to go well under 144, weather permitting. But a rope is just so dangerous. Look at him over there with his. I mean, how tall is this man? 6'1", 6'2", and he is just more muscular than a prime Schwarzenegger. Obviously, I'm joking, but like this is going to be a fun race to watch. So let's head to the track, get some sights and sounds from Steve Cram. Oh, never mind. Right when I say that, they pull it back. They hear me. They know what I'm going to say. They must be getting ready before we really move down there. But I'm gonna put another poll up. We're going over under 144. Let's see what we got here.
I think we go under 144.
All right.
I think I hope it'd be fun. It'd be fun to see. But regardless, I think we're gonna see a close race. I think everyone here is gonna stick their nose into this.
Yeah, I think so. Let's turn up that volume.
Finding these 800s tough, running personal best, but not getting the positions that he needs to challenge in his main event, perhaps tomorrow. And this is not going to get any easier here. Nagoose,
coming off of the last Grand Slam, Josh Kerr seems to have that new confidence. He came away with the 1500, 800 double win. Got some of his swag back. I don't think he's going to be able to challenge Marco in this. Like that's a huge challenge unless you're Wanyonyi. I don't know. Maybe Josh Hoey has something ready that we aren't prepared for. But Arop is a true 800 specialist with some solid endurance. And little fact: last year in the Olympic Games, Marco negative split his 800-meter Olympic final, and that's still the number four time in history, only behind the great Rudisha, Wilson Kipketer, and Emmanuel Wanyonyi. Just an amazing feat.
Pretty wild.
Breaking records, Dutch records, and one or two of them are pretty good as well. Sam Chappell, he's got good endurance, good 800, good at 1500, as is Elliot Giles, one of Britain's best middle distance exponents. Started out purely as an 800-meter runner, then got to know the 1500, can do both events at world class, at world standard. Hobbs Kessler will be looking to do the same here. World indoor bronze medalist at the 1500. You want to have those medals at that event, but he's a 143 man at 800 as well. And as Carrie was saying, watch out for Hobbs Kessler. Tough choice for him on the inside. They've got to break in a very unusual fashion. We'll watch it here. So just to remind you, the Royce will be running lane 4. You see the curve there, but the guys in lanes 1, 2, and 3, when we get to the normal break point on the back straight, have to move to their right, and the guys in the outer lanes will move to their left as normal. All holding our breath, Carrie.
Well, I love that right there, watching Hobbs Kessler get out in front there, but then we see Marco Arap. This is his race, right? We've seen him win now at both the last 2 slams over 800 meters. Today is the first time he gets to run his event in the first day of the slam. But Josh Hoey, the guy right there, Josh Hoey on the outside, excuse me, he likes to lead. There we go, we see him. This is what he likes to do. He likes to sniff the front. He doesn't like to be in trouble, but he's right there, kind of testing a little bit of Marco. Marco doesn't want to give up that lead.
He does not. 52, not that quick, and this is what Arab can do. He doesn't go off that hard. He builds and he builds and he builds from the front. Hoey is there, Kessler on the curve, then the goose. Cole Hocker had a very slow start, but got himself onto the back of the field now with Chappell, who's a very good finisher as well. But this is what Arab does, down the back straight, stretching everybody. They think they're in contention, and all of a sudden, he goes away. Josh Hoey trying to chase, then Kessler, then the goose. Elliot Giles and Josh Kerr, the 2 Brits, a long way back, because Arab is away and gone into the home straight. Look at the gaps in this. This is sensational from the Canadian, absolutely destroying this field. Arab looking better than ever, miles ahead. Watch the clock, 1:43.35 off a 52.1 first lap. Whoa. They could not live with him. They could not live with him. 1:43.35. I mean,
he did it again. Rode just
week,
negative split of 1:43.5. He went 52.51. I mean, that's 1:43.3 and negative split. Gosh.
Hey, Marco said y'all talking way too much about Josh Hoey. Y'all need to settle down. I'm still him. I know this guy won world indoors, but I'm the Olympic champion. And
dang.
You know, hey, my bad, Marco. Let me chill out.
You know, he went through 52.1, and I'm like, all right, shoot, we're not getting under 144. And he's like, that poll is correct. 62% of you said yes. 62% of you were correct. And the other 38%, 38%, man, you just weren't ready for Marco. That was genuinely so
dominant.
Incredible.
That was incredible.
You do not see 800s like that every day. That's kind of the beauty of no pacers here, because if you get a pacer, you're going out 49.5, low 50s, but you don't see a finish where someone just blows away the field. And you got to remember, people behind him, that's Josh Kerr, that's Cole Hocker, Yard Goose, Josh Hoey, just burying the world indoor champion this year. Dang.
Just had to let us all know, like, this is my event. This is what I do, you know? So for a second, I'm like, he about to run 142 or something. Like, this dude, he was on some different type of timing. It was crazy.
Man, we're getting treated to some serious speed. So yeah, Rope takes one of the most dominant wins in the last decade. What was Hoey's time? Was he over? I mean, he had to be over 144.
Yeah, probably
He might have been
145.
that might have been a, dare I say, a 2-second gap. My goodness. There's some live results. I'll see if I can get my hands on that in a moment. But man, you don't see that too often.
These standings are interesting because of Josh Hoey being in it this time. He knocks he knocks Josh Kerr to fifth, who only gets 4 points. Cole only gets 3 points. Nagu still got third with 6. So I'm like, Marco's looking kind of good. Like he just has to finish maybe like fourth or so in the 15, and he could
Yeah.
win this one.
Yeah. I think he's ready because the pace is likely not going to go out 56, followed by another 56. There's no pacers. And he just proved the second half, it's game over. That was beastly. Man, that was one of my favorite races I've seen so far in Grand Slam, hands down. That was really fun. I'm curious what his final 200 was, because he might have gone just complete negative split over the entire, well, probably not. The opening 200 was fairly quick, but
Well, yeah, you could tell like when he got to 300 to go probably around 250, he kind of like start really picking it up and
I
like
actually have the splits. If you go on Grand Slam track right now, you can follow the splits. They actually have per 100. So we can actually see the full breakdown of this. Get ready. So we got through 400, 52.05. After that, per 100, it was 13.0, 12.5, 12.5, followed by a 13.2.
that's pretty dope that they have that available.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm a huge proponent of available stats, and they're not always super accurate. However, I mean, you got to think this is, there's definitely some truth in the weeds here. It's I'm actually going to post this on the chat so that everyone can get their hands on it quickly. There's that link there, and if you check on the link up in the top, that's going to be what's going to make more streams like this possible. Click on our pinned comment. Head over to GS Total Running, and it's going to direct you to a page that's going to have a lot of 3 different running links. They're blue boxes. Click the blue boxes, and even if you don't buy anything, it's going to make these streams available. It's going to help pay our sponsors. It's going to help pay Creator Sports Network. It's going to take you to really interesting athletics wear. Just head over there in droves. And right on cue, we are coming back to the men's 200. I mean, there's Kung Fu Kenny, the undefeated man this year, rocking another headband. You got to think he's bringing out some anime strength. I think that a sub 19.8 is very possible. We just saw, honestly, a time like that shouldn't have been possible based on that opening 400. That's just, for the track fans that really know, that's very, very hard to do. So I'm optimistic. I mean, I hope that they get a favorable wind. I hope that they get some favorable moments of maybe a gust behind them. Something that allows them to really push through. That would be great, but we will see what happens. I'm going to put another poll in here. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool seeing Kenny though. Like he kind of been the face of Grand Slam in a way on the sprint side, and typically, I mean, Fred Curley, he's dealing with what he's dealing with. Noah's not a part of Grand Slam, and Kenny kind of been that guy within this league, and we've gotten to see a lot more of his personality and things like that. And I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, Kenny's bringing some smoke this year, and he has that attitude too. He's got some swag. He's letting the confidence come out more, and I feel like that's gonna really. That makes a difference, with someone who has historically been close but never quite gotten that global title. 2-time Olympic silver, crazy fast times. He has a Diamond League gold to his name in the Diamond League final last year. He beat Tabojo, which is no easy task. Had to go under 19.7 for it. But, we'll see what happens here. Let's listen down.
He's on a different level this year, and he knows it. But I would say Zarnell Hughes has a real advantage to be able to see Kenny around the turn. Kenny's not going to be able to know what Zarnell's doing, so he could shock him coming into the straightaway and being like, yo, Zarnell's up on me. And then we can have a race for that final, I'd say, 80, 70 meters of that straight.
Andre de Grasse, former Olympic champion, just one of the big names in here. There's one or two new ones to kind of look out for. We'll point them out. Aaron Brown, very experienced Canadian on the outside. Was at the World Relays with de Grasse. Lots of guys went there to help their teams qualify for the World Championships later this year. Those World Relays were in China. Kenny Bednarek, though, will be concentrating on Grand Slam, and why not? And he's been running quick, 19.84 in Miami in this event. Has won it both times. Can Hughes get on terms? He ran in Atlanta recently in a straight 200 meters where he ran 19.55 with a very slight following wind. I say slight, just slightly over the limit. But that just shows where he's at the moment. De Grasse will be trying to hang on to the two of them round that bend. He's in lane 5. Decent lane draw for him. The 21-year-old Jamaican, Brian Lavelle, only once under 20 seconds, but that's a great thing to do. His next best after that is 20.34, so he kind of wants to get more consistent in that low 20-second mark, the young Jamaican. On with Zarike, and is in lane 3. You mentioned this, tricky 3 inside lanes here. Around the 100 in those games in Atlanta, got beat by Sambine, and everyone's been getting beat by Sambine this year. Christian Coleman, like you, Anson, saw him yesterday practicing at the start out of lane 2, just trying to get familiar with this. 100 meters, of course, by far his best event, but he's a no slouch at 200 on his day. And then Christian Miller, 19-year-old, just a couple of weeks ago. He actually beat Christian Coleman in Tokyo in the Grand Prix just recently, over 100 meters. And it'll be interesting to see how he goes at the longest sprint here. He's not known as much at the 200. So Brown on the outside. Kenny's in 7. Hughes is in 6. De Grasse is in 5. Anyone else going to get involved? What about Christian Coleman all the way in lane 2?
I'm thinking all Kenny right now, man. What's he going to do? And Zarnell, is he going to show that he's got something?
Might just have a breeze on the back of the athletes down the home straight. Could work for them.
Set.
There's a little twist from Hughes, but he got away, but Kenny's got away strongly as well. And in fact, Kenny Bednarek has taken a meter out of Zarnell's Hughes round the top bend. Aaron Brown has had to watch him glide past him. Look at Coleman in lane 2. He has come to the races here. Can he maintain? No, no, no. Here goes Kenny, away and gone. Kenny wins it, 1993. Another great performance. It's just been taken to 1995. Daylight. In fact, almost a week between him and the rest. Never mind a day. It was
He said a week.
So far ahead of everybody.
1995 on this track is absolutely ridiculous, man. Like I said, I saw him do those turns yesterday effortlessly, making up the stagger on Aaron Brown within the first 20 or 30 meters, which is a testament to the speed around the turn, because Aaron Brown is actually a really good turn runner. So I know Hughes did what he could. You know, he saw him for the entire race, literally. Was behind him and saw him for the entire race. But did what he could. Kenny got him straight away, and just no one's going to catch him by that point.
So try and explain this, because Hughes is running very, very well, but he's half a second behind. He's beating Brown, de Grasse.
Man, you want to talk about dominance?
I mean, half a second behind.
I love the call from Steve Graham. He said he didn't beat him by daylight. He beat him by a week. Oh, that's cold.
I gotta say right now, GST, this is his league right now.
Yeah.
He's the one. He's one of the guys that I see, like, if Kenny, if he goes into Worlds this year, let's say he wins, that, you know, that would mean a lot for Grand Slam, you know, because I feel like he's really the face on the men's sprints right now, and he's doing his thing. He seems unstoppable. But we'll see in the 100 tomorrow. It'll be a good going up against Coleman, you know, in the 100. That'll be cool. to see, but I feel like he's just hot right now. He got it.
Yeah. Even up against Coleman on that opening 100, he was in the lead, and Coleman's the starting GOAT. That was just you would think with Kenny looking that fresh, that sprightly, the time would be quicker, but we're clearly running into some condition issues. There's just no denying it. But he won that race by over half a second. That was the kind of victory you don't see too often. Again, following in the steps of Marco Arop, just absolutely unchallenged, and I love the call. So, okay, we already got the splits available. He went through the 100 split in 10:33, finished 1995. So that would mean opening 100 10:33, and the final would be 9.62. We've seen him go a lot faster, but man didn't need to go that fast here. Man is cruising, saving up some energy, likely for tomorrow's 100. I mean, let's be real here. In order to legitimately challenge Kenny right now in the 200, he's going to have to race Noah. I can't think of anyone else. Maybe Taboho when he's healthy, but he's injured right now. So are we going to get perhaps Noah jumping into the Los Angeles Grand Slam for the final race, or are we going to have to wait until Nationals and Worlds?
Who knows? Who knows? We would love to see it. I really do think the LA one is it's gonna feel like a USA's type of energy. So hopefully some big names join in there. But would love. I mean, maybe Fred will be back by that time as well. Imagine if we have Fred, Noah, and Kenny all racing in LA. That would be amazing entertainment.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh, look at this. I love these heat maps. I mean, looking at the top speed and where they slow down and they maintain their speed. Top speed, I don't think that. Oh, that's meters per second, not miles an hour. Okay, meters per second, 13. I would love if that got converted to miles per hour or kilometers per hour because I'm a lot more familiar with those. But it looks like Zarnell Hughes was hitting the top speed, but we're not even getting to the 100th or the 10th here, so it's likely, you know, just looking at the zones and stuff like that. Last time I remember seeing that was in the Tokyo Olympics, where they put those graphs on the screen. I love those.
And he destroyed this field.
Yeah, that was not even. You just need to give him give everyone else like a 5-meter handicap. I think that's the only way we're gonna get a challenge there.
That's crazy. But
That really was dominance.
for him to dominate that well under these conditions, everyone was dealing with the same thing, but to him it was nothing. He still got under 20. No one else could.
Yeah, and we have a wind of 0.0. I mean, I do wonder if that's how accurate that is. Hard to say. And we got a shout out to Quincy Wilson sitting next to TT. Sitting next to Talk with T there. Quincy is just, I mean, the celebrities from high school.
Big up Real Talk. Big up the one named Real Talk. And shout out Anson Henry too.
Yes, love it. Anson. Quincy's on his way to reaching true celebrity status in the track world. He's already, I mean, if you follow him, he gets some mad interaction. Within the hour, he's at like 15, 20,000 likes I believe he's only a high school junior, by the way. Can we just appreciate what this man is doing? He's the world junior record holder. Like, goodness.
Yeah, I seen when he was at Penn
excuse me, the
Relays.
world youth record holder. World junior record is Steve Lewis from 1988. Got to get the facts right.
Yeah, when he was at Penn Relays, they were following him around like crazy right after his race. I was like, dang, it's wild.
Yeah. He's got a posse behind him. He's got like a full support staff. I mean, he's still 16, I believe, so not exactly someone that can be on his own devices, completely independent. When I was in Boston for the Grand Prix, he was, walking around. There were crowds around him, and his parents are right there. I mean, what an interesting experience, getting so much attention at such a young age. I mean, it's pretty wild. And following up, that is going to be the women's 200. I mean, we're getting back to back to back action. I love this. This is going to be We're featuring another Olympic champion. We got Gabby Thomas. And I'm going to make a prediction here. I feel like it's time. I feel like a lot of times Gabby starts a season off a little tentatively. She might throw in a few good times, maybe at Texas relays. It seems like it's time for her to turn on those burners, and she's going to flex her Olympic gold medal status. Just feel it. Just based on her progression, it seems likely.
Let's not forget about Melissa Jefferson Wooden, though. She been running good.
She's unbeaten so far.
Yeah, yeah. And, like, I just feel like she's a dog. Like, the way she races, she talks, she has so much faith and belief in herself. And I really feel like she's one of those ones. And, like, this is a year for her. She on a year run. I'm like, I want to see her. It would be crazy to see her get a gold or something like that in an individual event. But, like, I think she has the talent. I think she's capable of that.
Man, you might be right. Let's head to the track. Let's get the call. And strap in, everyone.
An illegal win plus 2.4, but nonetheless, it's very, very quick. Our first look at Jaden Mays, 23-year-old American. Pretty good starter, good 60-meter performances. 100 may be the better event for her, although she's no slouch at 200 meters, as indeed you can say the same for Thelma Davis. Now running for Liberia, Liberian parents. And, in 2 here, and Salira Barnes. I was watching in Rabat recently, again a very good starter, but 200 meters not her strong event, but lane 1 for her, also something for her to contend with. So Jefferson Wooden won this event in Kingston, but was only 3rd when Gabby Thomas came back to take the win in 21.95 in Miami. We've just seen Kenny dominate. Will Thomas do the same here? The Olympic gold medalist in this event, Dina Asher-Smith of Great Britain, former world champion in lane 5.
Now reversing the order, 200 first.
Stand up.
They're just going to be asked to stand, not quite sure whether there is a technical issue. Looking over in lane 2. Lane 2, I think, with Thelma Davis, just an issue with her blocks, I think. What was that call from the crowd?
I never really heard someone boo in track.
Oh.
You get booed for setting your blocks up wrong. That's new. That's a GST signature.
Aren't they famous in Philly for once booing Santa Claus, isn't that?
Were they really?
Yes, I think they do.
Oh, they like to boo here.
Urban myth.
You better set your blocks up properly.
You want to
over
be
here,
on the
man.
good side here in Philly.
Yeah, get those
But I
blocks
tell you
right.
what, Gabby Thomas is definitely on the good side. Everyone's going crazy for her when she came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, real track fans here. They're loving being so close at this 200-meter start. Gabby Thomas, Olympic champion in lane 6, will be watching to make sure she wins this. Melissa Jefferson Wooden in 7, Prandini in 8, Dina Asher-Smith of Great Britain in 5, Tamari Davis in 4, Jaden Mays in 3, Thelma Davis in 2, Salira Barnes in lane 1.
Bit of a drizzle.
Set.
Thomas away pretty smartly, although it's just lost half a meter or so, and he's got to get moving here because Dina Asher-Smith is running a cracking bend and also going well. Jefferson Wooden into the home straight with a good 2-meter lead.
Oh, wow.
Can Gabby Thomas hold this in? She's got work to do. Hold of Jefferson Wooden. Can she get there? It's going to be tight in the lead, but she's got 21.99. Well, well, well.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't even want to look at Gabby's own to go, sorry. Sorry. Look at Gabby's face.
Oh.
You gotta remember, Melissa is actually the first leg on the relay team. She's a turn runner. This is a turn favorite track.
This is, like you said, it's a different 200 meters here. Wide turn. You only, once you straighten up in the home straight, you've only got about 75 meters left.
Yes, yes. And I know that's what Melissa was thinking when she got on that straightaway. This straightaway short, I'm winning. I don't got to hold on for that much longer this time. And she held on.
So that's not only a personal best, again, another record for this track in the stadium.
Man, you called it. You called it.
Do
She
not
is a dog.
sleep. Do not sleep. You seen her face the whole time. She's not playing games this year.
That was
She's not
wild.
playing games.
Sub 22 on a day when it's not supposed to be that fast. That's whoo,
And like
impressive.
we said, like MJ said, this is about racing. It's not about time. That was a race.
Yeah,
That was a
that was a
race.
race.
She had to hold off Olympic champion Gabby Thomas. Melissa Jefferson, she's on that same level of talent. I'm not gonna be surprised if in the 100 year we see her challenge, Shakari for getting that, And she's another one like Kenny. If Melissa goes out here and she wins and she does something great, at Worlds, big W for GST. Big W for GST.
Yeah, she looks to be on her way too. That was another incredible opening 100. That was Benarek style. She held on too. You had Gabby closing, granted, it wasn't quite as dominant as you saw on Kenny's side of the 200 for the men, but oof. Melissa Jefferson wouldn't.
Yeah, because hasn't Gabby been running in the longer sprints for GST? Should she step down for this one?
I know she ran in the 400 in her opening. It was 200, 400. Yeah, she ran a really good time. I think 49. It might have was it 49 or high 48s.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. Regardless, she's getting that full relay preparation where she does the 4x1, the 200, and perhaps even the 4x4. Yeah, she went 49-1 in Kingston for the 400. That's some crazy range.
Our 4x1 gonna be crazy again. We ain't losing in the 4x1.
Hey, don't mention the curse, man. That's on the men's side. Excuse me. The women seem to have that under wraps.
Yeah, the women, we got it. I mean, we got to figure out the mixed relay thing once that comes into play, but
yeah,
the women going to our U.S. women's sprints, I mean, our men too. I mean, we got the Olympic champion with Noah, but yeah, we going crazy.
Oh, look at that. Very, very interesting. I love these graphs so much. I'd love to get more into the hyper details, but it's really hard to tell exactly what moment is as influential as others, because it doesn't even look like Jefferson Wooden's opening 100 has that much red, not even as much as Thomas's, and she was in first at that point. But you got to give Thomas her spot there. 22-1 is moving too. And I believe we should, if you have the link, we should be able to get the live results with the splits. So let's see if we can find those. I'll post those in the comments. It's very interesting. Okay, so yeah, women's 200 results. They're already here. Wow, love it. So we got Melissa through the opening 100 in 11.17. She was almost 2/10 ahead of Thomas in second. Super, super fast. And yeah, Thomas looks like she had the fastest close, but not by much. Melissa Jefferson Wooden still undefeated, I believe, in Grand Slam.
I don't think she's lost.
I don't think so either.
And like showing that strength in the two, I mean, I think that's gonna go a long way. And just the confidence of winning these races consistently. Because she ran like 10-7 at, I don't know if it was a wind aided when she ran the 10-7 at Miami.
It was wind aided, but that's 10-7's 10-7. That's she did get third place in the 200, but she's won both slams in the short sprints. So yeah, in Miami she was 10-7-5 with a 2.4.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be interesting. I wonder who are gonna be her challengers in LA.
Shout out to, sorry to change the subject real quick, but shout out to World Athletics. They already have her Grand Slam Philadelphia 21.99 on their World Athletics page. Someone is working overtime right now. You usually don't see it for at least a few hours.
It's that AI bot working hard, bro.
Oh, snap. Yeah, we might be on there. They can just watch meets and they automatically upload the times. Hey, why not?
Or somebody out there working hard. If you out there working hard, putting that up, shout out to you.
Yeah, those databases are dense, but I mean, we're only about 10 years away from the true robot overlords taking over, so might as well embrace it, enjoy the next decade. Okay, what do we got next? Man, we're seeing some fire races, and that's what's cool. This is some good racing. The times are also kind of there, but the racing is really interesting.
No, I mean that 800 super fast and dominant, definitely entertaining. That women's 200 was pretty crazy as well, and it was fun to watch Kenny dominate. And the four hurdles was close. So no, we off to a good start. I would say Philly's doing their thing.
All right, women's 3000.
So what do you think about the change to only have the 3K for the long distance?
I think it's a good move. I think it's a combination of total airtime and uh, there's some interesting racing tactics that unfold over the 3000 and the 5000 particularly, and so it condenses it into a, for the fans, they want to watch more racing, but for broadcasting, it makes it a little bit more condensed. I mean, you got to feel for the distance people that don't get that 100K payday. They're only racing for 50,000, and I mean, I say 50,000. That's still a huge payday. But yeah, I don't know. What's your take?
I just My only thing is like the 3K isn't like a prime event, People don't know 3K times like you do 5K times. But
Facts.
I do see how like in the 5K, like if it's super tactical, the average person is gonna be like, why are they jogging? You know what I'm saying? So this kind
Yeah.
of forces them to this kind of forces them to race a little bit, maybe more, to go a little bit harder. So I don't know. I don't know the best way to divide that up.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to fully explain, but I think from my end, I like it. I mean, it's still a lot of the big names, right? You've got Ngedich here. She's an unbelievably talented Kenyan athlete that can go under 15 minutes in the 5K while jogging, it seems. And I mean, I personally am a huge distance fan, but logically speaking, you got to look at the facts. It takes more time, it takes more tactics. When there's no pacers, it's going to unfold in an unpredictable way. So it maybe this will be the right move, maybe it won't. We're still kind of waiting to see how it unfolds, but let's run through the whole field here so we can get some international representation because this is mostly an international field. My tongue is not working. There's Tanaka from Japan, Ethiopia, Agnes Ngedic, as we mentioned, who's already taken the lead. She is not afraid to lead. I love it. Elise Cranny from the U.S., Andrews, U.S., Asa from Ethiopia, Ejgai Hutaye, who is a really good racer. She won the 5,000 in Jamaica, and Winnie Kaladi from the U.S. So 4 racers, 4 challengers. I highly doubt we're going to get a super quick time here. This is favorable conditions for distance, but 30 based on how Ngedic is looking right here. And speaking of the 3,000, it's kind of the elephant in the room when looking at records, but Matthew Centrowitz mentioned this when we were in our most recent Diamond League. The women's 3,000 record goes back to the early 90s in China from Wang Junxia, and she was notoriously a part of one of the most prominent doping scandals and doping teams in the history of running, and that came out in the mid 2010s. And there is some wild stories that you can read about that, and that her record stands at 8 minutes and 6 seconds, which, if you're converting to 2 miles, is more or less 8:45, maybe 8:40 if you want to get very technical, which is amazing. But even Beatrice Chibet only ran 8:11 in that Doha meeting in Rabat, and that for a lot of people is the outright world record. But a lot of sort of mythology behind that, and it's still in the record books for one reason or another. But yeah, there's a lot of very interesting aspects of the 3000 on the women's side. So yeah, I'm expecting at least 8:30, 8:40, 8:30, depending on the tactics. But Ngedic's not afraid to go out.
I mean, I think if it ends up being a slower race, I would just keep an eye out on Gisette Andrews. She's more of the five. There's a lot of women in here who they run 10Ks and 5Ks. Gisette
Hmm.
Andrews, yes, she runs the 5K, but she can run 15. She's ran a decent 8 in her time. I feel like that was her primary event at some point, and like she's always in it. She's sticking herself in it today, but if it comes down to a kick, that's what I'm putting my money on.
All right, bold. I like it. Yeah, she has gone under 4 minutes in the 1500. You know, and she's a 14:43 5,000 runner. Great range. And you got to think, technically speaking, she's married to Robbie Andrews, and one of the best kickers in history. So there might be some familial abilities there to really bring out a great time. But she's going to have to get to the finish line along in Gedich, which is not an easy thing to do because I bring this up sometimes. And Gedich holds that 10K road world record in 28:46.
Same.
Unbelievable. Like, talk about that kind of time will win you a lot of international 10K races on the men's side. So, and that race was in Spain, which Spain just somehow brings out the best road runners and road racing times in history. It probably was in Sevilla, Spain, too. Or was it Barcelona? Actually, I want to look that up. But yeah, women's 3,000, $50,000 on the line. Payday's coming in. So yeah, her personal best is from Valencia. Excuse me. Man, I should have known that. 28:46. That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing. This is kind of what happened in Kingston. You've got Taye behind her, stalking her prey, but if Ngedic has the good day, man, she is next level. Relatively bunched up now. Tactics are always going to be a part of a non-paced race, so she might just be running what she perceives as, you know, a respectable pace for the opening half, and then she might negative split like crazy. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 61-62 final 400 or a 204 final 8 here. Would not surprise me in the least.
I love seeing Elise Cranny like sticking herself in it too. I think she's had a slower start to the season. Thinking about it earlier, typically when she was on Bowerman, you know, their whole thing was train crazy hard and then do these time trial races. And now she's like doing the opposite of that with GST. And she's looking pretty good right now, just sitting on the rail in third, drafting off the top two.
Yeah, let's head to the track, get some of those sounds coming in. We'll get the live commentary from Steve Cram.
Well, Ngedic is getting quite a crowd reception right here. They're all clapping for them. But Ngedic has to make that move, as you said. She's got to wind it up. We've seen her do that. 8:23.14 is what she ran in Miami. We know time can be thrown out the door, but she is very fast over 3,000 meters. Look at that. You can see we're under 1,000 to go. This is when she needs to start pushing.
Right, who's got the legs here then? Who's got the pace? Surely just Andrews has got to have a think about it. And Gatic starts to wind it up. This time, there's just 2 laps to go. Taye there. Here comes Andrews on the outside. 800 meters left. Tanaka even following as well. And Gatic is going to feel some pressure here. Just checked who's clipping behind. It's Elise Cranny.
I think keep your eye on Elise Cranny. As I said, she just didn't have it the last couple months, but she's been training and she has the head to stay in it. She's done so well on the international stage. Watch how she can run. But look at Taye, just so easy right now. They're all in this race, but I really like what she's doing. Look at Josette though. Here she comes. She knows how to win on this track.
Yeah, she's just sitting on her shoulder though, waiting. What she wants to do is have the position. She doesn't want to kick yet. It's 600. She'll let Gatic continue to wind it up. Now, has Gatic fooled them here? Has she given them this sense that they can outkick her? But maybe she's got the legs. We're going to find out. Gabrisalama, the first to find this a little bit quick now. 500 to go.
Well, there's no messing around now in the long distance. There's one race. There's one one Grand Slam champ in this long distance event right now. So you know Nagetic is very much calculating and thinking about when do I need to make my final move.
Kalati is still involved as well, and Tanaka at the back of that group as they take the bell. And Gatic is in the lead. The slam winner from Miami, Andrews, first slam for her. Then Ty is there, Cranny on the curb. Aisa, the diminutive Kenyan, has been followed by Kalati as well as we start to lose Tanaka. 300 meters to go. Still nobody has broken this field.
Here comes Josette. She knows how to run the 1,500 meters, but don't sleep on Tae. Tae has been hunting and hunting. We saw this when she was in Kingston, Jamaica. But Nagetic knows how to win at the slam. Look at these two stride for stride.
I love what Gatic has done here. She's made them think they can sit and they can kick. She hasn't made it hard. She hasn't made it fast. Surely she's played into the hands of the others. So can Tae get it? Can Josette Andrews find something down the home straight? Stride for stride. A foot race to the line. And Gatic has won it like this before. She's going to do it again. And Gatic wins. Kenya beats Ethiopia in a kick finish off a slow pace. Who knew? 8:43. She's delighted with that. And you know what? Well done.
I am sorry. Those long distance runners, they know how to bring a show. You cannot be bored watching this kind of race here at the Grand Slam. Nagetic is just so calm. She's young, but she's calculated. She's confident. She knows how to win. What an awesome race she just had there. But Tae gave her a run for her money.
Yeah, 2:43 last 1,000 meters, and most of that was in the last 500 or 600 meters because everybody was still involved with 1,000 to go. Tae sat there all that time thinking, oh, this is good, this is going to work out, I'm just going to out-kick you. Josette Andrews probably thinking 2 laps to go. Well, there's no way in Gatic, you know, she's the distance
I could be
runner,
wrong,
she's the 10K.
but I think we saw a
order.
60-second final lap there. I don't think that was 61. I think that was 62. And you called it. Just said Andrews was there, but man, Tae and Nagetic just turned on the jets. Holy cow.
If they ran, I think they were 66 the lap before. Like they may have ran like a 206 last 800. That's wild.
Ooh, we got to get these splits. That was, you know, you see those sort of tactics unfold. You're thinking Nagetic is going to fade, but she kind of played it right into her own plan of perfection. That was weight. Oh, here we go. We have the splits on the screen. It's amazing. Okay, 1 lap to go. She's at 7:24. She ran 7:43, so the final lap was 61.5. Dang. Still, though, to run an 8:43, pretty much solo like that, time trial in it, I mean, impressive. Josette Andrews, very fast final 400 as well, right around 62.5. Hey, respect. We're seeing some killer racing. I'm really appreciating what everyone's doing here. This is some quality stuff.
Yeah, and another close finish too, kick to the end.
And that's a 50K race. I guess that's our first payout for today. Everything else is going to be a 2-day event. $100,000 payout for tomorrow. Dang. It's great to see people getting paid. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that have been waiting for this, and we've talked about it before, but you've seen the just jubilation of the athletes after they finally get that payday. They're like just so happy, so grateful. I mean, it brings joy to your heart seeing these amazing athletes getting the money that they deserve. Look at that. Agnes and Nagetic, $50,000.
Yeah, that's a nice little payday right there.
Well, she's heading for, I'm sure, a cracking season, particularly the longer track distances. I mean, Beatrice Chebet, her teammate, is running incredibly well. The Olympic double champion at the 5 and the 10, but Nagetic could challenge, and she can challenge with a finish, we now know.
Yes, she sure can. 61 seconds.
I bet MJ enjoyed that. Even though it was 7.5 laps. racing. That's what it's all about. That's what Grand Slam was meant to be. Two people head to head. Times don't matter. It's all about the points, about the prize money. And Ngatic has done it both ways. She's done it hard and fast, and she's done it slow with a kick.
Just get there.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, that's
Get there.
That's a skill for middle distance runners to have, or distance runners to have that range, that kind of in your locker to have different tactics. You don't just have to go at the front and make it hard.
And also the mentality to be able to switch up distances, to have that range that Ngatic has, to be able to calm yourself over half marathon and to stay intense over 3,000 meters. That is quite the trait that she has.
That's the Irish athlete Charlene Maudsley. First time we've seen Charlene. Brilliant relay runner, and the Irish have enjoyed great success in the mixed and the 4x4 teams, particularly the women. Charlene is their outstanding individual runner. 50.7 last year at the Olympic Games, a new personal best for her. She's going to be going in lane 2 in the 400 meters. Also welcoming the other twin. We saw Lena Nielsen of Great Britain earlier on the 400 meter hurdles. We're going to see Lavia here, but they have to take on Ainasa and Marilady Paulino. The two of these, I just love watching these two race.
I feel like every time Salweed Nasser and Marilady Paulino race, we're in store for a very likely sub 49.
Yeah, that's a battle. I remember Sawa at was at the COVID Olympics when she was like
2021?
yeah, and when she was 19, ran like 48, insane.
I know she was really up there in the 2019 World Champs when she went 48-1. That was absolutely ridiculous. And that's still the third fastest time ever, I believe. There's only been 2 to break 48. So, man, strap in. Let's head to the track.
Grand Slam in Miami, but Alexis Holmes is back. She goes in lane 8. Paulino, good lane draw. 200 personal best in Miami, 22.3. And that helped set things up beautifully for her, winning the slam there, taking both events after NASA started best in Kingston, if you like. But Paulino pulled it back, the Olympic champion over 400 meters. It's a great rivalry, and these two running so fast. I wonder who's going to come out on top here. Watch out for Nikisha Price. Again, a good start to the season for her. Based in Arkansas, the Jamaican. Then Lavia Nielsen. Had such a good season last year. Under 50 seconds for the first time. Again, another very, very good relay runner. Great Britain picking up medals at the Olympics, at the World Championships, with both Nielsens involved, the two twins. Bella Whittaker will be going in lane 3. Just to remind you, 3 lanes on the inside, across the finish line twice. I'm sure they've all been out and had a good look at this yesterday.
Before we jump into this, if you're enjoying this live stream, which I know I am, check out the link that we have pinned to the top of the chat here. That will, if you go there and click on the blue boxes and click on the next links, that will take you to a lot of running apparel, a lot of running stuff. And that's going to help make this stream possible for Los Angeles. So if you want another live stream that is free, which I would love to host as well, check out that pinned comment and just click like crazy. Just go and click. Every click counts. It helps us show that we have the impressions, and it shows that we, in fact, can host and bring a lot of great traffic to this amazing event. So that will help Creator Sports. That will help us. That will help make this possible. So let's get the stream again for Los Angeles. Thanks, everyone.
This season, behind Gabby Thomas. And of course, Sawa Nasser, number 1.
Win for her, though, I think is the big thing here, isn't it?
Set.
Paulino with Nasser. Just Paulino following Alexis Holmes, who starts quickly if she often does down the back straight. or into the back straight. Alexis Holmes with a good lead at the moment, you would say that, very early in this 400 meters. And Paulino just feeling that Aid Nasser has moved up, so is Nikisha Price. Then a bit of a gap to the other athletes. Nielsen right in the middle in lane 4. This is going to be close, this one. Look at Aid Nasser, she's taking it to her. It's going to lead through 300 meters. As they come up this long, long bend, Aid Nasser's half a meter. Paulino starting to pull her back. Nikisha Price still going well. Paulino almost loses up. She changes gear. And Paulino finds an extra gear. And off she goes. Paulino takes the win. 49.12. That was awesome. That was a guy, excuse me, an athlete who didn't panic, stayed calm, kept the race plan, knows that Aid Nasser was trying to, as you said, kind of change things up, get ahead, get her thinking, get her worried, get her concerned. But
exactly.
No.
And I mentioned the times earlier, when it comes down to it, you want to come out with the win. It really doesn't matter what the clock says. The wins are what matters. And I don't think that Paulino wants to end up behind anybody else in any more races, despite whatever comes up on the clock.
Just need to have another look at her, because I was getting...
Paulino has that finishing speed. Did you see the composure? I feel like we're seeing a lot of the big names really keep their poise, and man, Aid Nasser was rolling, but she just kept her form.
She just seems so strong coming through that last 100. 49.12 is insane, especially at this point in the season.
Racing. We're seeing some racing.
Well, because she's not inhibiting. Not at this point. It's if she, where did she move into lane 4?
It looked like just in the straightaway. If she did it in the straightaway, I think she's okay, because
if she does it in the straightaway and she doesn't inhibit the other athlete, she should be okay.
Right.
Did someone move into the wrong lane? Wait, hold up.
Anyway.
Have you ever seen one of those big train junctions where all the lines cross and you're never quite sure how they...
Yeah.
Well, I think the signals hadn't been set properly here. She...
Well, Paulino was in her lane.
Yeah, we're just double checking. We haven't seen a DQ yet, and I don't expect we will see one. I don't know if that ever happened to MJ. Switch lanes in the home straight. Good spot, Carrie.
Shoot, I didn't realize. Did Nasser switch lanes accidentally over the final 100? Is that what they're talking about?
Like it.
Think so.
Well, that DQ would be major points wise.
That would be a very unfortunate thing based on the standings.
These DQs mean a lot. They always mean a lot. But I'm just saying.
So let's
that's a lot of money gone.
There was no impeding.
Yeah. Maybe we should stop talking about it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have pointed
Maybe
out.
Nasser wants us to stop talking about it.
That's some good performances behind on Nikisha Price with a 50.04 best for her this season, as indeed was the same for Whitaker in 4th place.
So you got to think, if someone's running that quick and they're that far ahead of everyone else, they're not impeding anyone. I mean, just did she go outside of her lane that much? Let's not keep the red tape on too much. Let's just give them their day, give them their moment, not take away that DQ, because they're traveling here, they're banking on the money. I don't know what you think.
What if you got 3rd and you were like, yo, I could get a couple more dollars if I'm 2nd? I
guess it depends on the perspective, huh?
At the same time, I mean, if I was in 3rd and I saw you move into another lane, I'd be like, yes, I got 2nd.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people kind of saying the no impeding. So, yeah, shout out to Jose Gutierrez. I don't have any control over the camera shots. The camera shots this is day 1. They're going to be better by tomorrow. So this is the creator feed. Getting a lot of great free access, getting a lot of great free fun conversations. Everyone that's commenting, I appreciate you. And we're going to post a lot of these races to our page, so just watch them over there. And the results, they are on Grand Slam Track right now online. So if you head over there, you can check out the results page. I'll go ahead and post that again. You can see the full race, like this women's 400. You can see it by split time, so you get to see each Let's see here. Each 100 meters.
I'm ready to perform when it actually counts.
Jareem Richards is right up there, and the slam winner is Richards.
How many races do you think you're going to win Grand Slam?
All, every last race.
Jareem Richards in, well, just about the form of his life, really. He's been such a good athlete over the years. Talk about how proud he is running for Trinidad. Go on, Anson.
I talked to him in the hotel lobby a couple days ago, and we've spoken about this is an interesting track. And he asked me, he said, if a world record set here, would it be ratified? So I said, why are you asking me that? He's like, don't worry about that. Don't watch that. I was like, no, why are you asking me that? He's like, don't worry about it. So are we on world record watch? It's an odd question, don't you think, Stephen?
It's a great question, to which I don't have the answer.
I am very excited about watching this upcoming race. So the men's 400 this year seems to be really picking up some steam, and I would love to see Ja'Cory Patterson here, the only sub 44 in 2025 so far. This is also stacked. So Matthew Hudson-Smith, silver medalist from Paris, 43.4. There's Jareem Richards, who is hot right now. He is also rocking some 200, 400 double. He was in the sub 44 club in last year's Paris Games. And please, for all the Bahama fans out there, including myself, I really just want Stephen Gardner, the world champion 2019, the Olympic champion from Tokyo. I want him to be healthy. He was in the last Grand Slam and kind of pulled up with about 150 to go. So I just want to see him run a good race and stay healthy. Big Stephen Gardner fan.
Real, it's one of the greatest of all time. You could never sleep on Steve Gardner. And then Matthew Hudson-Smith, he's been getting a second a lot. He ain't happy about that, so he's gonna come with some heat. And Jareem Richards got the confidence of you telling Anson about world records. So I'm like, I'm curious now what's gonna happen too.
Yeah, me too. This is gonna be a good one. I'm excited about this one. And full lineup, we got Alexander Oganda from the Dominican Republic, Caleb McRae from the U.S., Javon Powell from Jamaica, Matthew Bowling from the U.S., Musala Samakonga from... Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Why can't I remember where he's from? Excuse me, everyone. My international skills are going out the window. I'm gonna need your help here. Oh, he's from Zambia. Excuse me. There's some great athletes coming from Zambia, and this man went pretty wild crazy in 2024. The Olympics, he goes 43.74 for an Olympic silver. Amazing.
Yeah, this race is gonna be fast.
12 points for the man from Trinidad and Tobago. So Ogando right on the inside. Look at this. It's going to be Patterson on the outside, but the slam winner is Richards. On the outside, the elegant Stephen Gardner, who pulled up in Miami, but pleased to say he's back, and might have just been a little bit of cramp or precautionary. He's in lane 8. The Olympic gold medalist from Tokyo. Same training group, Matt Hudson-Smith in lane 7, as Anson was saying, wants to try and get back to where he was in Kingston. Needs a good 400 here, needs to win this one to have any chance, because he's not as good at the 200 as Richards is. Richards can watch the British athlete. Those 3 racers joined with Musala Samakonga, the Olympic bronze medalist, wearing the red number. Hasn't been running badly at all, just everyone else has been flying. Yeah. So, Matt Bowling, good to see him here. Very close to his personal best last month. Good 200-meter runner as well. He's got a good chance of doing well in the slam. Got the right balance between the 2 events. Javon Powell, US-based Jamaican. He set a new 200 best. It's only 26.9, I say only, a couple of weeks ago. Caleb McRae, again, not great at 200 meters, so needs to have a good 400 here. And the world relays was the anchor leg for the US out in China. A little bit of an unfortunate draw, I think, here for Alex Ogando. 44.68 last year. He's run 44.78 this year. Ran a new national record at 200 meters with Richards, 19.86. And he probably was thinking, oh, give me lane 3 or 4. Give me a chance to run a good 4, and I'll have another go at that 200. But he's in lane 1. Work to do for Ogando. So Hudson Smith and Richards, 7 and 6. Samakonga finishes very strongly, the Zambian, in lane 5, as Stephen Gardner got himself back ready to contend here in lane 8. Men's 400.
Set.
Away cleanly. Everybody getting a pretty even start through that first 50, 60 meters, although Gardner just being left a little bit. Hudson Smith going past him, and he knows he's got to go pretty hard, because here comes Jareem Richards. Jareem Richards started quickly. Bowling's going well. Oganado right on the inside, also trying to give himself a chance through 200 meters. And it's Jareem Richards. Matt Hudson Smith looking a little unbalanced around that top end, but now starting to come back a little bit. The Brit is forged his way back to the front as they come into the home straight. This is good for Matt Hudson Smith, looking really strong. Others finishing quickly as well. McRae is right there, but look at Matt Hudson Smith. This is sensational from him. 44.49.
Solid.
Didn't panic. Richards went really hard through that first 200 meters as though he wanted to upset everybody else. Others started quickly as well. McRae ran a great race there, though, on one of the inside lanes in lane 2. Stayed strong over the last 50 to come away with second place, while others were faltering. Did Richards overcook that?
You make them stagger that quickly, you can shake up people's races. I think that was the aim there. But Matt was real cool, man. He responded very well, and he knew he was going to have what was necessary coming into the home straight.
Yeah, there was
Matthew
just,
Hudson Smith flexing on everyone. Again, you can see some rain falling. It's got to be affecting them. 44.4, 44.5 is still a decent time, but, you know, these guys can go quicker. I feel like every race we're seeing someone just clutch up and bury someone. And that's what he did. Jareem was there with them, but then he just turned on the jets. That final 100 was moving.
Yeah, again, it's just once he was challenged, he just had the strength to follow through. You know, that's his race, and he owned it.
I feel like we might be getting some possible erroneous split times. I'm going to post it in the chat. It said that Hudson Smith's final 100 was 8.93 seconds. We might be looking at some issues on the timing. However, in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, the stadium and the way that they do the finishes are a little bit different. They finish a little short of where you'd expect. So, I don't know, maybe there's just an erroneously placed split time there, so that could explain that. Up next is the women's 1500. Man, this is just, the action is a lot more smooth. The action is a lot more quick. I feel like this format definitely caters great to viewer experience.
Yeah, it's very like back to back, fast paced. You know, I feel like we haven't really had any breaks. Like we're almost down. We're down to like 3 more events already.
Yeah. Yeah, and looking at the chat, yeah, Steven did not have a good race. He ran 46.88. I hope he's okay. When he's at his best, he is a beast, but I do think he had a tough race. So Hudson Smith pulling out the win. McRae in second, 45.04. And Jareem faded to third, 45.05. Still decent times all around based on the conditions.
Yeah, Gardner just looked like even from when he started, he never really got out that hard. So it looked like he was like still probably like dealing with something.
Yeah, I saw Hudson Smith caught him within 100 meters, maybe 120 meters. Seeing Steven at his best is one of my favorite things in track. Man, it's so powerful, so smooth, that long loping stride. And he's a 43.4 guy. And that was in Doha 2019, world champ performance. Absolute beast. So up next, women's 15. Let's actually get into the details this time. So we got Jessica Hull, Mary Mora, Georgia Hunter-Bell, Abby Caldwell, Nia Akins, Derebe Wilteji, Addison Wiley, and Nikki Hiltz. Another stacked field here.
Yeah, no, this is also like a good mix of some athletes who they're not just pure 1500-meter runners like Nikki Hiltz. Like they're great at the 800 too. And then Mary Mora, I mean, more of a pure eight type of girl, but I feel like she's not really bad at the 15. Addison Wiley, also great in both 15-8. So I feel like this is gonna be another competitive race.
Yeah, looking at personal bests here, Georgia Hunter-Bell holds the fastest time at 3:52.6. And actually, Jessica Hull does, excuse me, at 3:50.83. I believe that's number 3 all time. Only behind, of course, the great Faith Kipyegon. And I believe it was another Chinese athlete at 3:50 before. No, that was Genzebe Debaba, excuse me, who previously held the 15 world records from 2015. So, some serious speed, some serious talent here. And I don't know. I mean, you got to think that there's going to be some tactics at play here. But will we see a sub 4? Seems unlikely, but probably a sub 4:10.
Yeah, for sure. I think for sure sub 410. Sub 4, I don't know if anyone's feeling like they want to do that.
Yeah, we're looking at a
But
Diamond League kind of time with that, and you're going to need to have someone brave enough to go out, break the pace, and more or less ruin their chances to even, bring home a respectable payday. You're going to cut off a lot of money if you're going to take out the opening 800 in 206 versus relaxing with the field at 212, something like that. Probably sub 4 today, predicts Evans Kongi. Man, if that holds true, respect to you. You got the oracle in you. We have recently eclipsed 5,000 concurrent viewers. We're at 4,600 right now. Shout out to everyone who's come by and watched the live stream. Again, if you want more live streams like this, if you want to watch the Los Angeles Grand Prix, click on the pinned comment at the top of the chat and just click all of the links. That sends kickback to us, sends kickback to Creator Sports Network, makes this possible. Appreciate everyone watching. Appreciate everyone who is a fan of track and field. But for real, if you click that, it will make the Los Angeles Grand Prix possible. So please, just go and click. If you can click 1,000 times over the next 10 minutes, and we'll pay for the remainder of the Grand Slam streaming services.
Her natural home is 800 meters, Georgia says, and that's where she's been training recently, and the 800 is indeed the natural home for Mary Mora, the world champion, Olympic bronze medalist in the 800, who actually led briefly in the 1500 in Miami. So an unusual start line, right tucked in the corner, and they have to stay in lane 4. That's where the curve is. And then from here on, it's just normal from here, folks. Just over 3.5 laps to go. So, Carrie, so much to kind of talk about here, but we've got the experienced slammers, shall we call them, in Hull and Hiltz and Welteji, who's gone easily to the front there. Mary Mora, the 800-meter specialist. We've thrown in Hunter-Bell and Addie Wiley, so really intriguing.
Yeah, I think Addie Wiley is one to really watch. She's coming off that 1:57 800-meter race. She hasn't run a ton of 1,500 meters in the last year, but she did look really good over in Germany at the Road to Record, so she's there in third right now, and she likes to be up front. Hiltz looks great. They have another new uniform. I think it's almost like their thing to match a little bit of the colors of the track, but Hiltz is so excited to be back. Said they might run a little bit of a different strategy because the 1,500 is first, maybe pushing a little bit harder rather than sitting and kicking.
62 through 400 meters. Well, Tedgy's decided that this is going to be quick this time. No hanging around. That's going to hurt the likes of Mary Mora. Georgia Hunter-Bell happy to just let others make the pace here. Hull will enjoy, I think, a quick pace here in second place. Hiltz in the blue in fourth behind Wiley. Abby Caldwell further back. Nia Akins will be finding this a little tough as well. So, well, Tedgy just slows, and that's a little invitation, because Jess Hull has been out-kicked 3 or 4 times in Grand Slam, and Jess likes the pace to be hard and fast. She's picking it up and keeping it going here.
One interesting tidbit I think about Hull this time, Jess Hull came into the last 2 slams with some races behind her. Now she's rested. She hasn't raced between the last in Miami and now, so she's rested, and she's had another great training block. Look at how she's pushing. She looks really good out front right now.
2.8 through 800 meters, so a slower second lap, but that was because pace slowed. But Hull has got this moving again, and they're completely stretched out. And the 800-meter athletes, Akins and Mary Mora, miles behind, as you'd expect, because this is hard and it's fast. Hull, well, Tedgy, Hiltz, Georgia Hunter-Bell of Great Britain, and then Wiley and Caldwell another 3-4 meters behind them.
Hunter-Bell had a great indoors, but has now had 2 training stints in China. She said she's just getting into form here, but this might sting a little bit because it's her first outdoor race. But watch her over the final 400 meters. But look at Jess Hull up front. But Tedgy looks great too.
This is the Jess Hull we saw all through 2024. Broke a world record for the 2,000 meters in Monaco after chasing Faith Kipyegon in the Paris Diamond League, then carried it on through to the Olympic Games, where she won the silver medal behind Kipyegon, and she did it by hard running, not frightened to be at the front, but she hasn't got rid of Will Tedgy. He's 2 miles ahead of everybody else.
Wow, look at that power that Hull has right now. Does she have enough with 200 to go?
200 left, and they're heading for a very quick time here. Well under 4 minutes. Jess Hull and Will Tedgy sitting and looking comfortable now. But has she got the pace? Hull often looks as though she's not going to hang on, but she's so strong, so determined. Eyes on the finish line now. Will Tedgy moves out. Looks as though she's got a bit of pace, and indeed she just finds her half a yard. Hull tries to respond, is not going to be able to, and Will Tedgy's going to take the win again. It's 3:58. Hiltz third, Hunter-Bell fourth, Caldwell fifth. All about these two though. Hull versus Will Tedgy. Will Tedgy set it off. 62 first 400 meters. Then it slowed a little bit. That was all the invitation that Jess Hull needed. The Australian.
Holy cow! I
continued to make it
I stand
hard and fast.
incredibly
But Will
corrected.
Tedgy had enough in
I'm sitting over here saying a 410 is going to be hard to go under, and they threw down a 358. Jessica Hull is she's not playing games, and she pushed the pace, but Will Tedgy coming back with just that final lap, 61.2.
Wow.
Whew. Dang.
They look, well, Tedgy, she looks so relaxed the entire
Oh my gosh.
time. and
100
smooth
meters to
line.
go, her facial expression is like a jogging expression, like no pain. Here to do a job. Let's get the job done, and she did. She very much did. That was crazy. That was wild. Another great time. That might be a Grand Slam track record so far for the 1500. It would not surprise me. Yeah, we had 2 under 4 minutes and 6 under 4:10. Unfortunately, Mary Mora goes 4:25, and Nia Akins wasn't able to finish. So unfortunate, but Mary Moore is in it to finish, and she'll come back in the 800. She's definitely more of that 800 specialist. So, man, goodness.
Yeah, they were not playing around. They went out 62 the first lap. Like, yeah, they said no. You guys aren't staying with us today.
Yeah, there is clearly a difference in like a 1500 specialist and an 800, and we kind of saw that in spades right now. So, goodness. Well, we're closing in on the final two races of the day, and we got the short hurdles. Men's 110 followed by the women's 100. Hype.
Oh, and this is the women's 100 that we're going to see Sydney in, right?
Yep. And this is the first time she has raced in the 100 hurdles, I believe, since 2021. The last time she raced that, I believe, was on this very track, which is super interesting. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Well, every day. Let's take a look at that 100 hurdles progression. Yeah, last time she ran one last year, I forgot, but before that was in 2022 at the Penn Relays. So not accounting for last year's 1271 in Los Angeles. Before that was the Penn Relays in 2022. But yeah, well, Teji bringing home 12 points, 358. I mean, wow. So this year is for women's 1500, or the women's middle distance. It's a very interesting year because, we're getting an attempt at a sub 4 mile from Faith Kipyegon, which remains to be seen if that is possible in the same way that Kipchoge went for his sub 2. I'm very curious how that's going to unfold, but clearly there's other talent. I say instead of bringing one person and having them attempt it, bring in like 10 people. Bring in as many as you can, increase the odds, increase the exposure. I mean, it is a special event kind of thing to have one person go after that big time. But if Faith, runs a 401, which would be crazy, perhaps Jessica Hole, Will Teji could run a 402, 403, maybe a 4 flat. I mean, I don't know. We're talking crazy fast mile for a woman here. That would be a huge increase in the current world record because Faith holds it at 407 right now. But sub 2 seemed crazy in the men's mile. But hey, it happened. Or the men's marathon, rather.
Yeah, I mean, even if Faith went out there and ran 403, that would be insane. And if she dragged a couple more women along with her, that would be super crazy to see multiple women running under 405.
Exactly, yeah. And to Smarty Ari15, I only had a chip my 3-year-old gave me, so no more eating on the stream. Had to be done, though. I can't deny a chip from my 3-year-old. It had to happen. So, yeah, moving into the final two competitions here. Hurdles. Honestly, I am super pumped about this men's 110 hurdles because not only do we have Trey Cunningham, who's clearly one of the fastest all-out 100 athletes that specializes in the hurdles, but we also have Cordell Tench. He ran a 1287 this year in China for the Diamond League meeting. Places him in the top 5 all-time. If you're under 12.9 for the men's 110 hurdles, I mean, you're approaching GOAT status. Not actual GOAT, but, GOAT conversations. I'm very curious as to see what he does here.
A Lambo leap. It's when you actually run and jump into the stands.
Like the football guys do that.
They do
that. And
who's going to be first?
NFL, not soccer.
Yeah,
it's
NFL.
Football.
You guys don't care about that stuff. I understand.
You'd need to be a high jumper. Well, talking about jumping or hurdling, Trey Cunningham, we just saw him walking away out of shot there. We've got the short hurdles, men first. Can't wait for both of these races, really interesting. Here's the quickest man in the world this year, one of the quickest ever, 1287. I mean, just phenomenal. That was in China. He started with the Diamond League season just in a sensational style, 4th fastest ever. Trey Cunningham, by contrast, we saw him win the slam in Miami with 2 sensational races, equaled his personal best in the hurdles, 13 flat. So, what have we got in store here? Plenty of others. Roberts, Crittenden, Simonelli. What about Britt, quick starter as well?
There is Cordell Tench. Following this man's career has been crazy because he was at Pittsburgh State and he just came out of nowhere dropping some amazing times. But he was also high jumping well over 7 feet. He long jumped well over 8 meters. And he was a phone salesman like 3 years ago. He was out of the sport, completely done with track for all intents and purposes. And now he's back at the top of his game. But can he take down Trey Cunningham, Freddie Crittenden, Daniel Roberts? This is going to be a competitive one.
Shout out D2. Anybody out there that D2 athletes can do it too. And I think he went to a JC too. So shout out.
Yeah, yeah. His story arc is just amazing. But let's head to the track. Looks like they're getting ready to throw down.
The first race in the short hurdles, men, and then we got the women after this. That's Eric Edwards Jr., 25-year-old American. 31.5, his best score was 3 years ago now. Jamal Britt, he is a very, very quick starter. Gets out fast. Ran well in the Doha Diamond League a couple of weeks ago. Was second there. Was pretty close to his personal best in Miami. What about Simonelli? Had a good win just recently, actually, against Britt and Omar McLeod. He beat both of them in Savona in Italy just last week, as he travelled well. Freddie Crittenden, third in both Grand Slams in this event, in the 110 hurdles, 13.09 in Miami. Such a fast race we saw there. Now Dan Roberts, in his day, and the best in the world. Olympic silver medalist. About 87. It's just, you know, it's really hard when you see an athlete to, he suddenly now has expectation he hasn't had before.
Yes.
Just wonder whether Trey Cunningham might even still be the favorite. I say that just because he's running so consistently well. But let's see what Tinch has got here. And then we've got Jakub Szymanski, who's had a busy season already. Won the European Indoor Championships in Apeldoorn, 7:39, which is super quick. Didn't do as well in the World Championships indoors, but he is, again, another one who gets out sharpish.
In the press conference,
On your marks.
Cordell Tinch was all business, not much smiling. I think this race is very important as far as establishing himself as him being the guy. The way Trey Cunningham was talking, he was actually talking like he already won the race. The confidence I'm hearing out of him is very interesting. So seeing them line up,
yeah, it's going to be good.
I mean,
you know, Tinch, we saw in Kingston, 5th. Then he goes to China and runs super quick. Pressure on.
He's going to want these hurdles. He's going to want these hurdles.
Tinch is in 6, Cunningham's in 7.
Set.
Roberts gets out very slowly indeed. It's Roberts who's leading it. Szymanski's very much in it as well. Britt over on the far side, and here comes Cordell Tinch. Cordell Tinch and Cunningham just coming away. Britt's right in the mix as well. It could be Britt. Very close indeed. Wow. Jamal Britt over on the far side. Cordell Tinch isn't sure. 13.08. I think Britt got that in the end.
Wow.
They've given it to him.
Oh, that's huge.
Do you know,
slam-wise, that's huge.
He started well. He's a good starter. Then you're just not sure what's going to happen after that with Jamal Britt. However, Tinch, by hurdle 5, I thought he was going to go on and move away, take it, but he didn't. And Britt ran through. I think Tinch thought he'd won that.
I think so too. I think with Cordell's running style, he knows once he's in the middle of the race, his speed between the hurdles and how quick his turnover is, he's more than likely to pull away. He got into the race very quickly, which is good for him. But for Jamal Britt to be able to pull this out, and considering how good his 100 is, I mean, he has a real shot at the slam.
Unfortunately, I did not put enough respect on Jamal Britt's name. I did not put the respect on his name.
Snuck in through lane 1. I wasn't even paying attention to him.
Yeah, I looked up and I'm like, dang, he's gonna challenge, and he beat him. 13.08. Taking down Cordell Tinch and Trey Cunningham and Daniel Roberts on the same race. Those are some big scalps to take.
Definitely a confidence booster. Also with
mental.
Tracksmith too, probably doesn't have like a full sponsor to come out here and get a W is big.
Man, he's halfway to that 100,000. It's gonna be like Sasha Sola all over again. Won the 100,000, danced his way to whatever, you know, new purchases he was gonna get. Getting some solid action from the challengers.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's always fun when you see someone like that come and surprise everybody, and then we'll see what he does in the 1.
Yes, sir. And we are approaching the final competition of the day, the women's hurdles, women's short hurdles. If it wasn't already arguably the most competitive event in the game, you're throwing in Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. And while this is not her ultimate specialty, that's the 400 hurdles, clearly. I mean, don't expect anything other than a quick time. It's going to be tough because she's going to be up against Akira Nugent, Ia Jones, Dejati Kambunji, Daniel Williams, Christina Clemens, Tanya Marshall, and Megan Tapper. Every time a women's 100 hurdles goes down, it just seems like it's faster than you think it's going to be. You know, at a respectable time, 12:5, 12:4, that's become normal recently. And we saw in Miami, literal American record goes down for Masai Russell. I believe it was a 12:17? Just surreal. Again, the conditions might not allow that, but we'll see. Yeah, 12:17, and Tia Jones ran a 12:19 on that day. And clearly conditions were perfect. It was positive 2.0 tail. Pretty fast track, it seems to be in Miami, or Miramar, rather, but very interested to see what happens here. And there's McLaughlin-Levrone's husband, videographer extraordinaire, staying next to his wife under any and all conditions. They travel as two, and they're here. So I mean, we're lining up, getting ready. What do you expect? You know, it's easy to talk about Sydney. She's such an unbeatable athlete in the 400 hurdles. But what do you expect time wise from the athletes here?
And I had to go back and look at last week just because it was so fast. I'm disappointed we don't have Messiah Russell racing. I wanted to see her up against Sydney, but with how everything's going, I don't know. Are we gonna see like 12 high, maybe 13 low, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure
either, but I am expecting some solid numbers here.
60-meter hurdle. She's a fast starter. Maybe still finding that the senior level getting into the 100 hurdles, but she's going to one day start running 12.2, 12.3. Lots to look forward to here.
Previously on Grand Slam track, women's short hurdle.
So yeah, some of the crazy stats about the women's 100 hurdles. Of the top 10 all-time performances, we've only seen like, there can't be that many that weren't in the 2020s. Yeah, we've got, of the top 10, we only have 2 that were not after the turn of the millennium. Like right now, the top 3 are 2025 or 2022. Just an absolute assault on the record books over the past few years. And a lot of people are claiming that this year the world record in the women's 100 hurdles is going down. Wouldn't surprise me. But that is a solid mark. Tobi Amusan in 2022, 12.12. That one bends the mind. That record is out there.
I remember seeing that in Eugene. Someone mentioned it in the chat. They said like this is gonna be our first time seeing Sydney lose in like 5 years. Like I can't remember the last time I seen her lose.
Well, she did lose in the hurdles, in the 100 hurdles, in 2022, I believe, because she ran in the 100 hurdles to sort of start her season off, and she got first. Excuse me, never mind. She won that race too. I know she lost in the 400 against Paulino in Paris in 2023, but as far as like a hurdle event, I don't know. She's been unbeaten. Last time she lost in the 400 hurdles was in the 2019.
Next to her, Danielle Williams, former two-time world champion. 32 now, but still running as quick as ever. Can she cause an upset here? Tanya Marshall. Very consistent in 2024 with producing times week in, week out. And then Christine Clements, 7th at the World Indoor Championships, and has already been close to her personal best this year. But that's a chunk slower than Nugent, Jones, Kambunji in the mix there. You just wonder whether Sydney's ready for this in terms of how quick this is going to go by.
Well, we saw earlier that she's leading the point standings for Racer of the Year. And she's putting it on the line to run with these short hurdlers.
She's in 4. Tia Jones is in 2. Nugent in 5. Sydney gets out. 100-meter hurdle. Nugent has got away quickly. Also going well. Tia Jones over the far side. It's Nugent just leading this one at the moment. Nugent's got this. Akira Nugent continues to go away. Wins it easily in the end. 12:44. Sydney just not on terms in an event we wouldn't necessarily expect it to be. Tia Jones did hang on for second place after getting out sharp, but Nugent stamped her authority all over that race there. Got out well, was up with Jones, who we know can get out quickly, so does Tapper as well, but then she just continued to move away from them. Sydney, 5th.
Commanding race by Kira Nugent. You always have kind of a chip on your shoulder when it's your event and you want to protect that event and other people coming into it. And she obviously wanted to make sure that she established who's who in the most competitive event in track and field right now.
And you're right, when you look at the world, and no Masai Russell here, but what she did in Miami with people popping up all over the place, people like Amasan, Nugent. I mean, Nugent, had a chance at Olympic medal, and it all fell away for her in the first hurdle. But great to see Sydney take it on. Great athletes like a challenge.
I'd rather see her challenge herself, man, if I'm being honest. We know what she can do in the 4 hurdles. We've seen it for years. She's constantly racing the clock. I'd like to see her race people, and she did it. I think she has a desire to do that as well. You got to be able to do things to keep the heat under you. I think she realizes that. She actually got out decently. Having Akira right next to her, though, when you're next to that kind of cadence, it can actually throw you off, because this is something that she doesn't necessarily feel all the time. She's on a stagger usually, and doesn't always have athletes right next to her. So that's new for her.
Not surprising.
And to see someone three-stepping
Not surprising at all to see Akira Nugent take that victory. And respectable time from Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone at 12.70. But it's a different kind of speed. It's a different cadence, he said. 12:44 against Sydney McLaughlin. She's clearly the 400 hurdles GOAT and the expert in that event. But, I mean, a respectable time. And she got 5th. So we'll see how she does in the Open 100 tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see. I don't think I've ever seen Sydney. She probably hasn't ran a 100 since like high school or something.
Yeah, I wonder. Check out her PBs. 100 meters, 11.07. With a tailwind back in 2018, 7 years ago.
Wow.
Which would make her, what, 18 years old? Something like that?
Yeah.
Man, it's a while ago, but yeah, that was the final event today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. That was day 1 of Philadelphia. Had some amazing matchups. That was one of the best racing days that I can remember. From the 400 hurdles to the 800. Shout out to a rope. Leave your thoughts. What was your favorite race from today? Which athlete did you really get inspired by? A rope was a huge one. I really enjoyed that one. Also, Melissa Jefferson Wooden. Holy cow. Taking that 200 to Gabby Thomas, the Olympic champ. No fear.
Yeah, I gotta say, Melissa Jefferson's was my favorite race of the day. Crazy. Just seeing her progression, seeing her keep getting better. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be awesome to see her in the 1 too.
I'm putting the splits that y'all can see in the chat, that you can see every race. They've got some really good split analysis breakdowns that you can see. And one more plug, because I really want to make sure we can cover these events in the future. Make sure to check out that link pinned at the top of this chat. If you click that, it'll open up a page with a few blue boxes. Click on those and follow those. It'll take you to some very interesting running websites, so get a little more knowledge on running. That will help fund the Los Angeles Grand Slam that we hopefully will host. You have the power of the people. This is democracy. feel like I'm running for office and I'm looking for donations, but this isn't to me. This is to help promote the stream. So you guys have an amazing weekend, and click on that link before you go. You just click on it. Send it to your family, send it to your mother. Be like, hey, this is going to help TRP stream. This will help Creator Sports Network. Feel free to just send it to all your friends and family. But yeah, race of the day, Melissa Jefferson Wooden for me, and followed closely by Marco Arop, who just absolutely buried that men's 800 field. The man is just on another level. Went 52.05, followed by a 51.3. You're not supposed to negative split the 400. Someone needs to tell him. That's crazy. I think, though, the most dominant performance of the day goes to Kenny Bednarek, who won the men's 200. Man, won by more than half of a second. Whew. Paulino is a good, very good choice. If you have Paulino from the Dominican Republic taking that victory, that's a solid choice. 49-1, making it look good. And yes, we are streaming tomorrow. It is going to be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, slightly earlier. We're going to make a stream post after this, and you can, set a reminder for that. If you have any questions, concerns, whatever, leave your thoughts. I'll try to answer them since the stream is coming to an end. Shout out to Creator Sports Network. Shout out to Peacock. That's the primary live stream for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be fun. And shout out to my good friend Aaron here. You got any channels, any pages you want to plug real quick?
Yeah, come check us out. Two Black Runners podcast. Me and my brother talk all things track and field, all things running. Episodes every Two Black Tuesday. So come in and check us out. Appreciate you, Andrew, Total Running Productions, for having me on today. Maybe I'll see y'all tomorrow, but it was fun.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna send that link right in the chat here. Click on that and follow the smooth, soothing, knowledgeable voice that is Aaron Potts here.
Thank you, sir.
We're gonna stick around a few minutes. Feel free to stick around or get to doing what you need to do. I'm gonna answer a few questions and check out the remaining listeners in the stream here. We still got a 3,000 plus audience here. I mean, I can't ignore when people are still hanging around here. It's fun to do these streams, and we're gonna look into the splits briefly. I know people gotta get going. It's a Saturday evening. We got plans, but okay. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to do it, actually. Thank you all for watching. We'll check in tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., and we'll see some more racing. So have a good rest of your Saturday.